in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Geis, his first carry of the game. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. Looking sideline, incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. 27 yards there, a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now a give, right side it's Geis. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
We got 4. We got 4.
Second and 9 now. He's going deep for Brown. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. That goes for a gain of 31.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Let's go, Mike 50, Mike 50. Bring it.
Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Incomplete.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
2nd and 6. Steps away to his left. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. It's their quarterback with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Hey, Mike. 180. All day, dog.
Now Rosen on first down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 11 yards there, first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Watch the slant. Check 13. Monday.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he stopped immediately there. Preston Smith there on the stop.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch the pass.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. They'll find Miller. That's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Oh, some strong running. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with it.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Flush to his right. And his pass incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
It's a gain of 32. First down, Packers.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Geis. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 8. Got a man. It's Brown. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Looking for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the gun to give to Mixon. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a 1st down. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. They'll look to throw on 1st down to Josh Rosen. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Now Rosen. This is caught by Williams. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Rose into the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. On the delay, it's Mixon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd and 12, Rosen. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
They come out here in the eye.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball. Showing it. Showing it. Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
They'll give it to Mixon. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 7-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in the 1st half. 10-7, our score. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. On 2nd and goal, Rosen. Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards gets them closer, but now it's 4th and goal. Bullock's kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me.
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
He'll look to throw. Able to find his running back, Geis. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Check 55, Mike. In your face. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Look, wait, let's go. He's crashing. He's checking crack. Watch the safety creep.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Now back to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep, Jalen Richard. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot downfield. No.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. So we have reached halftime here in a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Pressure comes, and down goes Rosen. Slipping into the backfield for the sack was Oren Burks. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the two defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out start towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Check, check. Motion to backfield. Motion to the backfield. Monday.
On play action, Rosen. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. Second and 24. Now Joe Mixon. And an alley to run. 8 yards there helps, but they're still stuck now. Third and long coming up. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Check. Check hot route. Hey, alert. Check 42's the mic. Check 40.
Third and long here for Rosen. He's going to let this one go deep. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
And maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
On second down now, it's Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 27 yards there, a first down. He came right off the bench. That's his first carry of the game, and he left an indelible mark on the game.
Did not just bring fresh legs off the bench. He brought a fierce mind as well. He had a lot to prove, didn't he? He thinks he's as good as the guy who's the starter. Wanted to prove it, and boy, did he on that play.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Get ready. Mike 50. Do your job.
He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Geis with the carry on second down. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Check, crunch.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And down inside the 15 he goes. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's got it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. George Kittle, his 4th touchdown on the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Shifts by him. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 3rd down. Rosen will throw. Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Now Brown. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Packer football here, 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Even. 4 down. Even.
They'll set up to throw. And it's incomplete. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. They'll look to throw here. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 41 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Watch the pass.
They'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Geis. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
3 down, 3 down. Hey, check, 3 down, 3 down.
Second and 9 now. Flush to his right. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. You.
They'll set up a throw. He gets it in the hands of Geis. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
On the ready, 54. Mike, 54. I got you, son. I got you, son.
They'll get that one out quickly to Brown. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking deep downfield. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go,
Back to throw here. He gets it to Brown. Complete. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Now a run with Geis, and only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again they run, again it's Geis. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and get it with Geis. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And you look back over the score sheet. Interesting. A very clean game. No turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked out.